All right, race fans, it is Puka and it is the Burt Lehman coming to you from the 33rd Annual USA National, the Thursday portion. We are not live because we just don't have enough signal here. Now, I took this, so if you see, kind of compared to a finger, right here, after about what lap? About halfway.
Halfway, roughly.
Yeah, so I was leaking bad, had to take off, but we're here anyway, and we're going to get a little video done for all you and kind of a recap. So welcome, Bert, and I don't know. I guess started off. Let's start off with the USRA late models. And,
Ryan's favorite division.
Ryan, this one's for you, and just kind of thoughts on that class.
It's definitely different than the super late models. But I mean, the talk of that race was a 13-year-old, Gavin Terrace, I believe is his last name. He won his heat race, and he had the interview of the night after his heat race. He said he didn't come here to finish second, but he actually did wind up finishing second in the feature. But he did start on the pole, led a good portion of the race. And I mean, for a 13-year-old, when I was 13, I was still playing with the little Matchbox cars.
Yeah, a lot of guts, and yeah, he did. And the crowd, huge ovation when he said that, And my kids and nephews are here, and they were just like, "Holy cow, Dad! He's really 13 years old!" And they interviewed him after the heat race, and they have the jumbotrons here, and so the kids got to actually see, and they just couldn't believe it. So, all right, on to the World of Outlaw portion. Of course, we had a point show, regular night heats, features, everything. What kind of stood out for you, Bert?
Well, I mean, the dominance of Brandon Overton. He was quick in qualifying, won his heat race, started on the pole in the feature, led the entire feature. He is going to be tough to beat this week. He's proving that, winning the Southern Tour wasn't a fluke.
Well, and like you said on the One to Go show, which is our podcast, I'm sure most of you are here, but podcast show. This is also on YouTube, so you can catch us there. But you had mentioned that Dirt on Dirt had an article and said, who could go on a run this year like Madden did last year, and one of the picks was Overton. But yeah, he was very impressive. He won. Tonight's portion, it was, you run down the top five or so. I wasn't here.
Overton won, and I believe Owens was second. Tyler Erb, I believe, was third. I can't remember the other ones.
Top three's close enough. So.
At the end of the race, I was actually watching Bloomquist because Bloomquist pretty much sucked all night. Poor qualifying. He had to take a provisional to get into the race, and lo and behold, he was battling Brandon Shepherd at the end of the race for ninth. And we've criticized Bloomquist on this show, but he did take a provisional and got all the way up to 10th. So we'll see what he has in a 100-lap race.
Yeah. The Bloomquist car struggled. Like I said, he was dead last in the B.
Yep.
He kind of backed off because their guys were kind of getting squiggly in front of him there. I saw, and I don't think he wanted to wreck the car. But
talking about Bloomquist cars, Ricky Weiss was behind Bloomquist.
Right. Yeah. They were battling when I was still there before the incident. But and Tyler Erb looked really strong in the heat. Ross Bales didn't look too bad.
I wanted to say Bales. He impressed me tonight. One thing that a comment that he made, that because we've talked earlier about those southern races where there's only one lane, two lane, and when he was interviewed tonight, he even said, back home it's only a one lane track. We're lucky if we get two lanes. Where here you can race all over the place.
So he was good. Mr. Smooth won the heat. He was in the top five when I was because I like I said, right about halfway, they were like on the first lap coming around, and that's when I got bonked. But he was in a top five spot at that time. But a couple of guys, like I said, Shepherd, not real strong, the typical Shepherd. And how about Pierce? Pierce was kind of just non-existent tonight.
Yeah, he was non-existent. And I just want to make a mention, Wisconsin drivers. Nick Avalink had a very good qualifying effort. Qualified through his heat race for the feature. He must have banged the wall or something. He had some front end damage and some rear quarter panel damage, so he left the feature early. And then I just have to say, tough break for Mitch McGrath. When he went out for qualifying, he lost a drive shaft, came out for his heat race, started dead last, and got up to sixth place. And then in his B main, he walloped the wall in turn 3 and left. So hopefully he can get the car back together and get out there tomorrow night.
Now, did Chad Mater end up qualifying?
No,
he didn't.
No.
Okay. So Mater was one of the guys, I think, in a Wazota car, that actually tried it, and obviously he didn't get in. And then what was I going to say? Oh, and then we noticed there were about 5 haulers, I'd say, that have pulled in during the races. So 46 tonight was the count. So 46 cars tonight. So we'll see. I mean, maybe some of those guys were locals that were coming here to watch, but we don't know. I think maybe Jake Radetzky is one of the guys that pulled in, because I know he's got one of just a hauler without a trailer. But we'll see what's in store tomorrow. I mean, there was that big black one that pulled in earlier, so who knows. But all in all, pretty good night.
I do want to say one other thing. You mentioned earlier this year on the podcast that you think the dirt is different here. I think it is. It's grainier. It's very dirty.
Yeah. That's what I said.
At a dirt track.
Yeah, and it looks a little redder. And then, like I said, if we'll walk by, we go in the pits, but you go off of corner 1 there, and you'll see a bunch of tarps, and there's a bunch of clay there. So, so like I said, it's a little bit different, but it was racy tonight. They were probably a little too lenient on the water. I don't think they needed to do that misting right before the feature. After the USRA late models, I thought the track was, if anything, maybe just do a quick lap across the top. But so it was pretty hammered down night of racing here. So
but the racing was over by 9:30. I mean,
show. No curfew issues here on a Thursday night. So pretty good grandstand. I thought the camping across the way. I've never seen so many campers across the way as I have this year. So I think the event is continuing to grow, and now the forecast changed a little bit. The chances of rain tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday have increased. So hopefully we'll be able to get back here tomorrow and give you guys another update. So with that, anything else?
No, just looking forward to the 2 big days coming up.
All right. Thanks, race fans, for joining us. And like I said, just catch up with us tomorrow. We'll give you another rundown if they do race. Take care.